Most breakups happen in private, so you know it's really bad when one ends up in the news. These celebs went through that ringer, falling out of love before our very eyes.
Actors Matt Damon and Minnie Driver dated for more than a year in the late 90s, until Damon boldly proclaimed on the Oprah Winfrey Show that he was single, leaving poor Driver to find out at the same time as the rest of the world. Driver later told the Los Angeles Times, "It's unfortunate that Matt went on Oprah. It seemed like a good forum for him to announce to the world that we were no longer together, which I found fantastically inappropriate." Though she also once described falling for Damon as an occupational hazard, Driver seemed to have gained some perspective on the whole situation years later, reportedly saying, "I was young for my age and didn't have any of my family around me, so I was probably just a bit lost, and I upset a few people because there were times when I spoke before I thought." Hey, we've all been there, Minnie. Katy Perry and Russell Brand were married for 14 months when they suddenly announced their divorce in 2012. Perry later revealed to Vogue exactly how her former beau broke the news, saying, "He's a very smart man and I was in love with him when I married him. Let's just say I haven't heard from him since he texted me saying he was divorcing me December 31st, 2011. In the same interview, the Swish Swish songstress accused Brand of being controlling during their marriage, alleging that he was intimidated by her success and disheartened at her intense touring and promotional schedule.
You know, they would say, "Oh no, I don't want to be in a relationship because I don't want to have to choose between being in a relationship and having a career."
For his part, Brand later admitted to Us Weekly that he may have projected his own issues onto his pop star ex-wife. Actress Charlize Theron dumped actor Sean Penn the new fashioned way in 2015 by reportedly ghosting her then-fiancé for a few weeks until he got the message. A source told Us Weekly Charlize wasn't responding to his calls and texts. She just cut it off. Theron's disappearing act became the talk of Tinseltown, but the Mad Max star insisted the gossip was ridiculous, telling the Wall Street Journal, "There is no need to sensationalize things. When you leave a relationship, there has to be some crazy story or some crazy drama, and the ghosting thing, like literally, I still don't even know what it is." We're sure she's learned by now. Taylor Swift and Scottish DJ Calvin Harris dated for more than a year before they broke up in June 2016, and things swiftly took an ugly turn. After the breakup, it was revealed that Harris and Swift had collaborated on his song "This Is What You Came For," with Swift using a pseudonym in the songwriting credits to avoid drawing attention to their relationship and overshadowing their music. Though all parties were said to have agreed with the decision, Swift's cooperation was apparently conditional. Shortly after the pop sensation split with Harris and hooked up with actor Tom Hiddleston, her rep publicly announced that Swift had co-written the hit song. Harris didn't deny the claims and even noted that Swift also sang a bit on the song and praised what a great job she did. However, he did call his famous ex out for what he interpreted as a calculated and spiteful move on her part to belittle his own producing and musical talent. Harris tweeted, "I figure if you're happy in your new relationship, you should focus on that, instead of trying to tear your ex-boyfriend down for something to do. I know you're off tour and you need someone new to try and bury, but I'm not that guy. Sorry, I won't allow it." Look what you made him do, Taylor. Nikki, Bella and John Cena called off their engagement in April 2018, just weeks before they were supposed to tie the knot. The split, which was reportedly over Cena's refusal to have children, came as quite the shock to fans. A source told People magazine, "It's clear that they had issues over what they wanted from a marriage and from family. But despite their differences and the fights they had, people still thought they would go through with the wedding. Everyone is surprised that it ended." Perhaps no one was more surprised than Cena, who went on to make several cringe-worthy appeals to win Bella back after the split, even offering to reverse his vasectomy and gushing about his love for his ex on TV.
"I don't want anybody else. I love Nicole, and I don't have any other hopes other than maybe one day that we can work it out."
Spoiler alert, things didn't work out, and now the pair aren't even friends. In fact, Bella alleged to Cosmopolitan in October 2018 that she legally can't even speak of Cena at all anymore, making all of those embarrassing declarations of love even more humiliating for everyone involved. Rob Kardashian briefly dated Rita Ora in 2012, but it remains murky as to whether or not they were actually in an official relationship. In a since-deleted series of overly explicit and super angry tweets, Kardashian accused the singer of cheating on him with 20 other men, leading to the less-than-classy trending Twitter topic Rita Horror. All of this was news to poor Ora, who denied ever actually being in a relationship with Kardashian. as she explained to the Sunday Telegraph, "I never thought it was actually a relationship in all honesty. I never mentally defined it as boyfriend and girlfriend. You should have to sit an exam before you go on Twitter to see if you're mentally stable." Mean hashtags aside, Kardashian was clearly more affected than Aura by the not even a relationship. In a February 2013 episode of Kourtney and Kim Take Miami, he griped to his famous sisters, "All I did with Aura was waste a lot of money and gain 40 pounds.
I'm so insecure. I weigh like 215 pounds. I hate everything. This is not me."
Poor Rita Ora can't seem to catch a break in the romance department. After her highly publicized drama with Rob Kardashian, the singer began dating DJ Calvin Harris. The two were together for about a year when they abruptly split, with Ora reportedly first learning of the breakup when Harris tweeted about it in early 2014. As if that weren't painful enough, Harris blocked Ora from performing any of the songs they'd worked on as a pair, leading the singer to scrap her second album altogether. Ora lamented to Marie Claire, "I thought he had my back and that'd never steer me wrong. But then I Will Never Let You Down came out and everything started to go a bit weird. I don't know if it was because business was mixed with personal or what."
She's funny. She's funny.
Alex Rodriguez was married to Cynthia Scurtis from 2002 until September 2008, when Scurtis filed for divorce from the then New York Yankee, claiming A-Rod emotionally abandoned her and their two daughters in favor of hooking up with Madonna. Yes, that Madonna.
The girl is in love with me.
Scurtis's attorney outright alleged in July 2008 that Rodriguez was having an affair with the Material Girl, who was still married to Guy Ritchie at the time. In a statement to People magazine, Madonna denied an affair and shut down any rumors of plans to divorce Ritchie. But that stance lasted about as long as her unfortunate grill phase. By October 2008, Madonna and her director husband announced they were splitting, with sources saying that her fling with A-Rod was one of the many factors leading to the dissolution of her marriage.
But, I mean, that's life.
Pop diva Mariah Carey was briefly engaged to Australian billionaire James Packer, but the couple called it quits in October 2016 before they ever made it down the aisle. A source who spoke with Us Weekly revealed that There'll Always Be My Baby songstress was devastated and shocked by the breakup, saying, "Mariah was totally blindsided by James. She read the news in Women's Day Australia that said he dumped her. Mariah knew they were having problems, but it wasn't the kind of thing where she thought she'd read in the paper that she got dumped. That devastation may have cost Packer a pretty penny." TMZ reported that after the pair split, Carey privately demanded Packer pay her $50 million, the amount she reportedly would have gotten from a prenuptial agreement had they married, although Packer's camp vehemently denied any such arrangement. However, it seems Carey came out on top after all was said and done. After the breakup, Packer allegedly had a breakdown and entered rehab for his drinking problem, while Carey moved on with her backup dancer and reportedly sold her engagement ring from Packer to a Los Angeles jeweler for the small amount of $2 million.
I don't know him.
Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart anchored one of the biggest film franchises ever, as well as the tabloid favorite romance that grew out of it around 2009. But infidelity, rumors, and just plain old Hollywood drama forced them apart in 2013. Here are some of the reasons behind Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart's breakup. When Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart first got close, Stewart was dating actor Michael Angarano. Some reports suggested an overlap in the relationships, with Stewart and Pattinson being spotted holding hands just a week before Angarano came to visit Stewart on the Twilight set. But Stewart wasn't the only one who brought drama and potential infidelity to the relationship at its very beginning. Isabelle reported in 2012 that Pattinson was hooking up with fellow Twilight star Nikki Reed, only ditching her when Stewart finally came around.
Perfect.
The gossip world seemed to explode when Stewart was busted cheating on Pattinson in the summer of 2012 with her married Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders. Stewart eventually confirmed she was in a relationship with Pattinson for the first time in her public apology. "This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most. Rob. I love him. I'm so sorry." Sources told Us Weekly that Pattinson was humiliated by the incident, but was still in love with Stewart. Even though Pattinson took Stewart back after she was caught cheating on him, the damage was done, and by May 2013, the pair were done for good. Sources told Us Weekly that the duo would often fight about Stewart's infidelity and alleged selfishness, with one insider noting, "He really put her through the ringer. Ultimately, it was like, either we move past this or we don't. It wasn't good for either of them." Another source told Us Weekly that the pair had a blow-up fight when Pattinson skipped a birthday party Stewart had planned for him. At the time, the insider had hopes that Pattinson and Stewart would reconcile and give their love another shot, but considering how much they were reportedly arguing in the wake of Stewart's indiscretion, ending their relationship might have been the right decision. Unsurprisingly, Pattinson found it difficult to move past Stewart's infidelity, and a source told Hollywood Life that the film heartthrob became consumed by the possibility of Stewart cheating on him again. And Pattinson was reportedly in an intense state of paranoia as their relationship headed toward the point of no return. An insider said, her cheating basically opened other doors in their relationship of what they didn't like of each other. While he was dating Stewart, Pattinson was accused of hooking up with Caitlin Cronenberg. The two met when Pattinson appeared in a 2012 film which was directed by her dad, David Cronenberg. According to Hollywood Life, Caitlin was seen with her arm on Pattinson at the film's wrap party in July 2011, when he was still very much involved with Stewart. The publication insisted that he and Caitlin were just friends, but we're not sure what to believe at this point.
I trust you.
Don't.
He was also linked to Riley Keough, whom he met through Stewart when both women starred together in the 2010 film The Runaways. Though he didn't begin dating Keough until after his relationship with Stewart came to an end, it's still a bit shady that he would hook up with one of her friends.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
No.
Insiders claimed Pattinson's sisters were, quote, disgusted by Kristen after the cheating scandal erupted, and that they held on to their resentment towards her for months. Even after he allegedly told his sisters to forgive Kristen, they still just felt the actress's efforts were all just empty promises and manipulations. A source told Life and Style that even Pattinson's pal, Katy Perry, also warned him to stay away from Stewart. The source revealed, Katy has told Rob that she thinks it's a really, really bad idea for him to reunite with Kristen. Katy warned him that Kristen will end up hurting him again. Since the breakup, Kristen Stewart has been vocal about how much she hated fans' attention on her relationship with Robert Pattinson. She told the Sunday Times in March 2017, I didn't talk about my first relationships that went public because I wanted things that are mine to be mine. I hated it that details of my life were being turned into a commodity and peddled around the world. She also told LUK she kept the romance quiet because she felt that everything was being trivialized. We were turned into these characters and placed into this ridiculous comic book, and I was like, that's mine. You're making my relationship something that it's not. I didn't like that. Robert Pattinson didn't like the infamy attached to the romance either, telling the Washington Post his relationship with Kristen Stewart wasn't a publicity stunt. For one thing, it would be a terrible marketing tool, and it's not utilized very well at all. People will say anything. I'm still amazed that people even believe anything that's said about us. A pal of the actor told Radar Online that the cost of fame was something the former couple used to complain about a lot. Rob really can't stand being famous, even though he loves his job. I'm sure all the hell he went through with Kristen was the final straw for him as far as fame is concerned. Once the Twilight Saga's filming and promotional tours were done, they moved on to other projects, and as a result, they simply grew apart. A source told Radar Online in late January 2013 that distance became a big issue when Pattinson flew to the land down under to film a new movie. With Robert out of the country 1,000 miles away, working in Australia, Kristen has been missing him badly. With an 18-and-a-half-hour time difference between them, the source added it was tough for Pattinson and Stewart to communicate with each other regularly. Pattinson allegedly was horrible at sending text messages and keeping in touch, and Stewart reportedly became frustrated that he wasn't giving her enough attention. A source told E! News that part of what made Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart stick was that the actor felt Stewart was the only person who understood him. Said the source, Stewart is the only person who Pattinson can talk to about fame, and he feels like they are both on the same level and they understand one another.
You'll always be my Bella.
It seemed as if their bond from appearing in the ultra-successful Twilight Saga was the glue that kept them together. But clearly, it wasn't enough to help their romance go the distance. Following their 2013 breakup, an insider told Hollywood Life that Stewart had become super needy for Pattinson's affection, and things had gotten so bad that Pattinson, quote, felt like an adult taking care of a child.
Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling were one of Hollywood's most iconic young couples, both on and off the screen. After playing Allie and Noah in The Notebook, they dated off-camera and were a storybook romance come to life for years. So what really happened to end this seemingly perfect relationship? Grab your notebook, the list of reasons may surprise you. Gosling and McAdams have discussed their relationship pretty openly, but they haven't been too open about their breakup. The couple managed to keep those dirty details under wraps. Still, without elaborating too much, Gosling did hint to GQ that their split was ultimately mutual. He explained, "The only thing I remember is we both went down swinging and we called it a draw."
You saying you want to break it off?
I'm saying we see how it goes later on.
The Notebook was one of the most popular movies of 2004, so naturally, when fans found out that Ali and Noah were dating in real life, they almost couldn't handle the cuteness. In fact, to this day, there are some fans out there who have a hard time separating Ali and Noah from Rachel and Ryan, and they're still wishing and praying that the swoon-worthy couple will get back together.
No, just wait a minute. We're not really breaking up, are we? Come on. This is just why we're having it, and tomorrow to be like it never happened, right?
Unfortunately, the adoration of all things Gosling may have put too much pressure and strain on the couple's high-profile relationship. Even Gosling noted that fans were downright pissed at him when they found out about the breakup in 2007. He told GQ, "Women are mad at me. A girl came up to me on the street and she almost smacked me. Like, how could you? How could you let a girl like that go?"
Go! I lost you once. I think I could do it again. If I thought it's what you really wanted.
I feel like I want to give people hugs. They seem so sad. Rachel and I should be the ones getting hugs. Instead, we're consoling everybody else. Unlike their characters in The Notebook, Gosling and McAdams' relationship wasn't exactly love at first sight. In fact, it was quite the opposite. The film's director, Nick Cassavetes, told VH1 that the actors got along so badly on set that Gosling wanted another actress to take the place of McAdams to rehearse his scenes.
We're already fighting.
Well, that's what we do. We fight. You tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bitch, and I tell you when you're being a pain in the ass.
Cassavetes told VH1 they were really not getting along one day on set. Really not. And Ryan came to me and he says, "Nick, come here. Would you take her out of here and bring in another actress to read off camera with me?" He says, I can't do it with her. I'm just not getting anything from this." Cassavetes forced his actors to yell it out, which helped them move forward.
If you leave here, I hate you.
What have you been paying attention to anything that's been happening?
I guess not. I think I must have misread all of those signals.
I guess you did.
It didn't solve all their problems, but it made filming bearable, and it later paved the road to romance for the two stars. Like plenty of temporary romances, Gosling and McAdams most likely broke up simply because they weren't the one for each other. But they're not down for the count. McAdams has rebounded pretty nicely, being linked to handsome hunks like Jake Gyllenhaal, Taylor Kitsch, and most recently screenwriter Jamie Linden. Gosling has since found true love by way of Eva Mendes, whom he met on the set of The Place Beyond the Pines in 2011, and with whom he has 2 daughters. Gosling told Hello, "I know that I'm with the person I'm supposed to be with." He says the one thing he looks for in a female partner is that she's Eva Mendes. There's nothing else I'm looking for. Gosling opened up to the UK newspaper The Times about his breakups with McAdams and Sandra Bullock. He blamed the limelight for getting in the way of the relationships with his 2 greatest girlfriends. Gosling told The Times, "When both people are in show business, it's too much show business. It takes all of the light so nothing else can grow." After The Notebook hit theaters in 2004, Gosling became one of the most sought-after hunks in Hollywood, and only a couple years later, he received an Academy Award nomination for the indie drama Half Nelson. With that level of superstardom, it can be tough to have much of a relationship with anyone or anything besides your career. In fact, even Gosling himself admitted to The Times in 2011 that he was in a committed relationship with film. "I'm giving as much to it as a marriage." According to OK Magazine, Gosling and McAdams' split was fueled in part by McAdams not being ready to have children. Although those rumors were never confirmed, Gosling has expressed on at least one occasion his desire to settle down and raise a family. Celebuzz reported Gosling saying, "I'd like to be making babies, but I'm not, so I'm making movies. When someone comes along, I don't think I'll be able to do both, but I'm fine with that. I'll make movies until I make babies." Ironically, People magazine reported that McAdams split from actor Michael Sheen in 2013 because he wasn't ready to settle down and have a family with her. So maybe it was just a matter of finding the right person to parent with.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
The end of Gosling and McAdams' relationship wasn't a messy Hollywood breakup splattered all over magazine covers. In fact, after they parted ways, Gosling had nothing but nice things to say about his former flame. Gosling told GQ, "People do Rachel and me a disservice by assuming we were anything like the people in that movie. Rachel and my love story is a hell of a lot more romantic than that." The two have reportedly remained friends after their breakup. In fact, rumors have also swirled that the two have stayed connected through phone calls. According to the Daily Mail, McAdams allegedly called Gosling multiple times for advice to get over her breakup with Michael Sheen. She also reportedly called him to congratulate him on becoming a father, which allegedly caused tension between Gosling and Mendes. But Gosling feels a loyalty to his former co-star and friend, so perhaps fans of The Notebook may one day get a Gosling-McAdams movie reunion after all. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams claimed she was blindsided by NFL star Kordell Stewart's decision to leave their marriage, and she may have been the last to know about it. Williams told ABC News in 2013, "I saw on Twitter that my husband has filed for divorce." When Williams asked Stewart, who was just down the hall from her when she read about the news, she says he blew her off, claiming, "He said he thought about it and we'll talk about it later, and he left for work. I had to call my attorney to find out." Yikes. Some reports claimed actor Daniel Day-Lewis and his longtime girlfriend, French actress Isabelle Adjani, split up via fax. But the truth is even worse. Adjani told the Mail in 1996, "I told him I was pregnant before he went in to a clinic, and I went to see him once while he was there, confident he'd get better in time. My love for him did not waver, but I guess he did not feel the same. We never saw each other again. He never told me it was over. I wish he had because I like clarity." Rumor has it Maroon 5 frontman Adam Levine reportedly split with Victoria's Secret angel Behati Prinsloo, started romancing fellow Victoria's Secret model Nina Agdal, but then reconciled with Prinsloo and asked her to marry him. Sources told Page Six Levine broke the news to a heartbroken Agdal via text. Rihanna was an R&B star Chris Brown's only brutal breakup. After years of on-again, off-again drama, Tran finally hit the road for good in 2015 when it was revealed that Brown had fathered a daughter with another woman during their relationship. Unfortunately, Brown reportedly refused to let Tran make a clean break. In February 2017, Tran obtained a restraining order, forcing Brown to stay 100 yards away from her mother, and her brother. Tran claimed Brown told people he was going to kill her and that if he can't have her, no one can. She also alleged that during their relationship, Brown punched her in the stomach twice and pushed her down the stairs. A former neighbor of the couple corroborated Tran's abuse claims. Brown denied Tran's allegations. In June 2017, TMZ reported that a judge extended Tran's protective order against Brown to 5 years. Linda and Hulk Hogan split in 2007 after he allegedly had an affair with Christiane Plant, a close friend of their daughter, Brooke Hogan. The St. Petersburg Times reported that Linda received a little more than 70% of the couple's liquid assets, along with 40% ownership in his various companies. He also paid her an additional $3 million property settlement, which was partly pocketed from the sale of their beach house. Linda also reportedly landed $7.44 million of the couple's $10.41 million held in bank and investment accounts. In Linda's autobiography, she claimed Hulk engaged in affairs with men and abused her throughout the marriage, though she never reported it until after their divorce. Hulk denied all of the allegations, telling Good Morning America that while they were divorcing,
she would file charges that I looked at her the wrong way at a red light and wanted to have me put in jail. So if I beat her up for 23 years, why didn't we talk about this at divorce?
Hulk then sued Linda for defamation of character in 2011, and she later retracted her claims and insisted she'll always love him. However, that didn't stop her from dissing him after he won a $115 million judgment against Gawker for publishing a sex tape of him and a friend's wife. Linda told Inside Edition,
"It made me a little bit sick. It's dirty money."
In September 2017, Audrina Patridge, former star of The Hills, filed for divorce from husband Corey Bohan and obtained a protective order against him, citing domestic violence concerns and extreme jealousy. They share one-year-old daughter Kira and were married for just 10 months. Patridge claimed in court documents obtained by E! News, his aggressive behavior usually escalates whenever I am paying attention to work obligations rather than to him. When we are apart, he texts me obsessively, rattling my nerves and making it difficult for me to concentrate on my work commitments. His harassing behavior has recently become so extreme that I physically separated from him a few weeks ago. I am fearful of Bohan's temper because he cannot control his swearing and personal attacks on me, even when in the presence of our young daughter. Patridge specified one incident in which Bohan allegedly was jealous she was out with people, accused her of partying and cheating on him, and threatened to kill himself. A source told People, she got the restraining order because she was afraid how he would retaliate when she filed for divorce. Corey has said to Audrina multiple times, "If you leave me, I'll come after you." So she had to get some additional protection. Mel B filed for divorce from husband Stefan Belafonte in March 2017 after nearly a decade together. The former Spice Girl obtained a restraining order against Belafonte and accused him of physical abuse, which her sister and even Sharon Osbourne corroborated. Mel also claimed Belafonte sexually exploited her and forced her to record sex tapes and engage in threesomes against her will, impregnated their nanny, Lorraine Gillis, and then forced the nanny to get an abortion using Mel's money. Belafonte vehemently denied the accusations. After Mel's allegations went public, Gillis sued the America's Got Talent judge for defamation of character. The nanny claimed the only sexual encounter she experienced with Belafonte also included Mel. Belafonte reportedly threatened to expose Mel's alleged drug use in court, and multiple witnesses on Belafonte's witness list accused Mel B of harassment. On top of all that, the couple's exorbitant spending was exposed in court documents. Flipper Flop host Tarek and Christina El Moussa's marriage officially flopped in May 2016, when 11 deputies and a helicopter arrived at the couple's home after receiving a call about a possibly suicidal male with a gun. The estranged couple claimed the split was also a result of long-term tensions, including fertility struggles and Tarek battling thyroid and testicular cancer during the marriage. You know the story by now. Brad Pitt married Jennifer Aniston in 2000, and they became Hollywood's golden couple, from their sun-kissed skin to their perfect blonde highlights. Then Mr. and Mrs. Smith happened, and with it, Brangelina was born, though Pitt and Aniston didn't separate or file for divorce until early 2005. It only got worse for Aniston post-split. Just months after filing for divorce, Pitt appeared in a family-themed W magazine spread with Jolie, and he later gave numerous interviews about basically leading an empty life during his marriage to Aniston. He told Esquire in 2013, "For a long time, I thought I did too much damage, drug damage. I spent years f***ing off. This was about a decade ago. It was an epiphany. This is not to say anything negative about Jennifer. I was part of that, and I know that my old self and Jen are very good friends, and I care deeply for her. But in Angie, I saw a very adventurous person who was grabbing onto life and taking it to its nth degree." Karma came back hard for Pitt in September 2016, when Jolie filed for divorce after 2 years of marriage and more than a decade together as a couple. Some reports accused Pitt of cheating, and Jolie accused him of child abuse after an alleged in-flight fight with son Maddox, though Pitt was cleared by Child Protective Services and the FBI. Pitt said the split was caused by his drinking, telling GQ in May 2017, "I can't remember a day since I got out of college when I wasn't boozing or had a spliff or something." And you realize that a lot of it is, cigarettes, pacifiers. "I stopped everything except boozing when I started my family. I was boozing too much. It's just become a problem, and I'm really happy it's been half a year now, which is bittersweet." After a whopping 72 days of wedded bliss, reality star Kim Kardashian filed for divorce from NBA baller Kris Humphries. He reportedly learned about the filing from TMZ. Hey, at least the relationship made for good TV, right?
It's safe to say Elon Musk and Grimes' relationship has been a hot topic in celebrity news ever since they first got together. The two started quietly dating in early 2018 after bonding over artificial intelligence on Twitter. They made their red carpet debut as a couple at the Met Gala that year. At the time, news of their relationship resulted in a flurry of memes online from fans who were caught completely off guard by the new romance. From there, Musk and Grimes, whose real name is Claire Elise Boucher, made headlines pretty often, like when they sparked breakup rumors after unfollowing each other on Instagram, as noted by Business Insider, or when Azealia Banks accused them of holding her hostage. The Canadian singer also really shocked everyone when she announced she was pregnant with her first child in January 2020. 2 months later, she confirmed to Rolling Stone that the Tesla and SpaceX founder was the father. However, nothing broke the internet more than when the pair announced they named their newborn son X-A12 Musk. Elon Musk confirmed he and Grimes are no longer together in a statement to Page 6 on September 24th. He said, "We are semi-separated but still love each other, see each other frequently, and are on great terms." The tech billionaire hinted that his work schedule and the long-distance aspect of their relationship played a role in their decision to split up, but that they will continue to be amicable co-parents to their son. He explained, "It's mostly that my work at SpaceX and Tesla requires me to be primarily in Texas or traveling overseas, and her work is primarily in LA. She's staying with me now, and baby X is in the adjacent room." Ever since they started dating, Elon Musk and Grimes' relationship had its fair share of hardships, particularly after they welcomed their child. A source revealed to Us Weekly in May 2020, Elon and Grimes have experienced a lot of ups and downs in their relationship throughout Grimes' pregnancy and have been on and off. They noted that even though the two may not last as a couple, they, quote, "have and will continue to maintain a close friendship, regardless of their romantic involvement." The insider added, "Regardless of what happens to them romantically, Elon plans to be a father figure and be involved in the life of his child." The Canadian singer also shed some light on the relationship and not understanding what she was getting into at all in a 2020 interview with Rolling Stone. She explained, "Not that I'm mad about it, I just didn't think it would be a thing. The shit that's happened with my boyfriend this year has overwritten so much of my life's work. Now, Grimes will have plenty of time to focus on her own work as Musk continues his headline-making career. Regardless, it's promising to see that they are planning on working together as co-parents to their son." Elon Musk and Grimes began their romance as a California dream, complete with mansions and private jets. But Musk and Grimes went from the celebrity high life to living in, quote, almost a literal box, as the Houston Chronicle put it, in Texas with baby X. In June, The Week reported that Musk sold 7 of his homes and moved into a 20 by 20 prefab home from startup Boxable. The couple and baby moved into the $50,000 Boxable Casita, which is basically a studio apartment. Moving into a studio apartment with a baby would be a tough transition for most couples, but considering the couple used to live in multiple mansions, the downsizing to the Boxable Casita had to be an epic shock. On June 9th, Musk tweeted, "My primary home is literally a $50,000 house in Boca Chica, Starbase that I rent from SpaceX. It's kinda awesome. Though, only house I own is the Events House in the Bay Area." Green Matters reported that the new home for Musk, one of the richest people on the planet, would rent for $250 a month. They say money can't buy happiness, but moving into a box after living in a mansion might not have sparked romance for Musk and Grimes.
TV megastar Ellen DeGeneres first met actress Anne Heche at the Vanity Fair Oscars party in 1997. It was basically love at first sight for the two Hollywood stars. They started dating very soon after the event. At the time of the party, DeGeneres had yet to publicly come out, but she made the big announcement just days later. The couple certainly experienced their fair share of controversy. They were the most famous LGBTQ couple in Hollywood, at a time when such things were practically unheard of. Reportedly, DeGeneres had a much harder time with the situation than Heche ever did. The talk show host told the Los Angeles Times in 2001, "I didn't want to hold hands. I had never done that in public. And yet there was this attitude of, you're going to be on the cover of Time magazine and say you're gay, but you're not going to hold hands? You deserve to hold hands as much as Tom and Nicole, or Tom and Rita. So I have to take responsibility for participating in that." Their romance ultimately didn't last. They called it quits 3.5 years into the relationship. According to ABC News, their romance ended in late summer 2000, just weeks after they were seen house hunting in LA and looking as happy as ever. So what went wrong exactly? At the time, the official statement Heche and DeGeneres released read like this: "Unfortunately, we have decided to end our relationship. It is an amicable parting, and we greatly value the 3.5 years we have spent together. We hope everyone will respect our privacy through this difficult time." Meanwhile, a source told ABC News that the relationship had simply run its course. Nothing more, nothing less. But in 2001, DeGeneres told the Los Angeles Times that the split had sent her reeling. As she put it, "Heche walked out the door, and I haven't spoken to her since. I don't have the answers. I would love to have them myself. I would ask all of the questions that everyone else wants to ask. I'm left with everybody else wondering what happened. I don't know. I really don't. I feel betrayed." DeGeneres told the newspaper that this was the first time that she'd ever had her heart broken. She claimed she didn't feel any sense of closure at all. All these years later, neither DeGeneres nor Heche have revealed what really went wrong in the relationship. The day after the couple publicly announced their split, Heche reportedly started acting rather strange and erratic, according to InStyle. She showed up at the door of a stranger's home and had an emotional breakdown, requesting a shower and declaring herself God. The homeowner called the authorities, and Heche was hospitalized. In 2001, Heche opened up about her relationship with DeGeneres in an interview with Barbara Walters, claiming that she had mental issues. And these issues apparently came from a history of abuse at the hands of her father. She also said that the trauma caused her to compartmentalize herself into 2 separate personalities. The other personality was apparently named Celestia.
What could I do when I was Celestia? I spoke a different language. I spoke a different language that God and I spoke.
She told Walters, "I'm not crazy, but it's a crazy life. I was raised in a crazy family, and it took 31 years to get the crazy out of me." She claims her troubled past led to her mental breakdown after her relationship with DeGeneres ended. But she also fondly reminisced about the relationship too. In regards to the night she first met DeGeneres, Heche said, "Her name was Ellen DeGeneres. She was radiating. I think at certain times in people's lives, you just radiate an energy and a glow of fabulousness. And that was her. I had never seen anybody so lit up." After the breakup, Heche didn't publicly date another woman, and DeGeneres was reportedly the first woman Heche had ever dated in her life. In fact, she told Barbara Walters that DeGeneres was the first woman she'd ever slept with, saying that, "I felt cared for. I felt free to express a part of me that I had not been able to express with a man. I felt sensuous and sexual the way I hadn't before." At the time, Hayes was married to cameraman Coleman Coley Laffoon, but she told Walters that she wasn't limiting who she loved, quipping that, "You fall in love with a person, not a sex." Hayes later went on to date and have a child with actor James Tupper, and they were together until 2018. Nevertheless, Hayes clearly isn't interested in putting a label on her sexuality. As she told Barbara Walters, "I would never limit myself to saying I would be with a man or a woman." Following their breakup, DeGeneres moved on too. She dated actress and photographer Alexandra Hedison for a bit before ultimately settling down with Arrested Development star Porsha de Rossi in 2004. They've been together ever since.
Before Kanye West hooked up with Kim Kardashian, his relationship with Amber Rose was the talk of the town. The two reportedly met at the video shoot for Ludacris's 2008 single, What Them Girls Like, and became hot and heavy soon afterward. They ultimately dated for 2 years before splitting. West obviously moved on to Kardashian, while Rose married Wiz Khalifa, with whom she had a son before divorcing. At first, the split between West and Rose wasn't that bad, but things got messy in 2012, after Rose called Kardashian a quote homewrecker. As she told Star magazine, "Kim is one of the main reasons why me and Kanye are not together. She was sending pictures and I was like, Kim, just stop, don't be that person. I thought at least she'd be woman enough to respond to me. She never responded." Things got even nastier after that. During a 2015 interview on The Breakfast Club, West said that he had to take, quote, 30 showers after he and Rose split, so that Kardashian would be okay with dating him. Rose eventually responded by tweeting, "Kanye West, after all these years, I never snitched on you. And I don't plan on starting now. We once loved each other, so I won't do you like that." Nas and Khalees tied the knot in 2005 at Morningside Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, and divorced in 2010. For the most part, they kept quiet about the split, but that changed in 2018 when Khalees accused Nas of abuse in an interview with Hollywood Unlocked. As she alleged, "It was really dark, a lot of drinking, a lot of mental and physical abuse, and it got to the point where if I wasn't pregnant, I might have stayed with him."
What was an intense low? Like, what was the lowest point in your marriage?
We had a lot.
Nas vehemently denied his ex's claims in a lengthy Instagram post that September. He also accused her of using their son Knight to hurt him. As he put it, "The price I pay to see my son. A son needs his father. So many absentee fathers out here. And here I am being attacked by your accusations simply because I got us in court to help fix this. The custody matter?" Nas also claimed that he'd been granted joint custody and that Khalees violated it. It was then reported by The Blast in 2019 that Khalees told him that she was moving with their son and her current husband to a farm in Colombia, although she later changed her mind and relocated to Temecula, California instead. The public first got confirmation that Future and Ciara were an item in 2013 when the rapper talked about the R&B singer in an interview with DJ J1 as he confessed, "The chemistry is there. It's amazing. She makes me happy. I make her smile." The two eventually got engaged, and by 2014, they were expecting a child together. But soon afterward, the wedding was called off, reportedly because he cheated on her with his wardrobe consultant, a claim that he denied in a 2015 interview with HuffPost. After giving birth to son Future Zahir, Ciara married NFL star Russell Wilson in July 2016, which started another round of beef with her ex over custody and child support. According to Ciara, Future frequently missed visitation, while he said that she shouldn't have introduced their son to Wilson so soon. During an interview on Beats One, Future said, "You don't even bring a man around your son. You know this dude for a few months and you're bringing him around your kid? Who does that? Nobody does that." During this back and forth, Ciara filed a $15 million defamation lawsuit against Future, though she later dropped it. There were a lot of questions surrounding Nicki Minaj and Meek Mill's relationship when they were first spotted hanging out together. Were they dating, just friends, or collaborating on music? Minaj offered a telling answer when she admitted to Vogue in February 2015, "We've been friends for a very, very long time, and he's been around for a lot of things that I've gone through, and that's all I'll say about that." A few months later, Mill gave full confirmation of their relationship in a since-deleted Instagram message in which he said, "Find a woman that you think is strong enough to help you take over the world." But on January 5, 2017, it looked like those world domination ambitions would have to go on the back burner, as Minaj tweeted, "To confirm, yes, I am single." The Starships rapper later revealed that she was dating her teenage sweetheart, Kenneth Petty, which led to some problems with her ex. In January 2020, Minaj and Petty argued with Mill after they all ran into each other at a West Hollywood store. Then the exes moved their argument to Twitter, as Minaj declared, "You beat your own sister and taped it. Kicked me in front of your mother." To which Mill shot back, "The only way you can try to kill my career is to say I beat women. Talk about your brother convicted of rape and you knew and paid for his lawyer." It certainly doesn't sound like there's been any love lost between these two. Saweetie and Quavo had their respective fan bases all giddy when the Icy Girl rapper confirmed that she was dating the Migos member during a 2018 appearance on The Real.
Is he cute like your boyfriend cute or?
You know, we've worked together and ever since then. We've been getting to know each other. I enjoy his company.
But then the fans began choosing sides after Saweetie announced that she was single in March 2021. As she elaborated, "I've endured too much betrayal and hurt behind the scenes for a false narrative to be circulating that degrades my character. Presents don't band-aid scars. And the love isn't real when the intimacy is given to other women." Quavo responded later that day by tweeting, "I know you want to make this into a show, so I'll play my part just this one time. I had love for you and disappointed you did all that. You are not the woman I thought you were. I wish you nothing but the best." Later in March, TMZ released a video that showed the two rappers fighting in an elevator in a North Hollywood apartment building. As Saweetie explained to TMZ a couple of days later, "This unfortunate incident happened a year ago. While we have reconciled since then and moved past this particular disagreement, there were simply too many other hurdles to overcome in our relationship." Quavo also issued a statement to Billboard in which he said, "We had an unfortunate situation almost a year ago that we both learned and moved on from. I haven't physically abused Saweetie and have real gratitude for what we did share overall." Chatter about Iggy Azalea dating Atlanta rapper Playboi Carti began in 2018, but the two of them never truly addressed it publicly. That all changed on December 24, 2020, when Azalea blasted Carti one day before his Whole Lotta Red album was released. According to the Australian rapper, Carti abandoned her and their son Onyx on Christmas Day to attend his release party. She made her feelings clear by tweeting, "I would never decide to do something of my own free will that meant missing a milestone moment with my son, and if you do, you're trash." Azalea also brought up the issue of infidelity when she tweeted, "Imagine not flying out your family on Christmas, but you have the girl you cheated on me my entire pregnancy at your album party, and magically me and my son can't come for Christmas anymore?" Brandy Marion, the woman whom Azalea accused Carti of cheating on her with, responded on Instagram, "So let's get this straight. I'm not a homewrecker. I would never knowingly be with someone that is in a relationship. Ever." Marion also claimed that Carti told her that his relationship with Azalea was over when they met, but that clearly wasn't enough to prevent all this from blowing up. You might need a flowchart to keep track of the saga of Tyga and Blac Chyna, as it involves multiple characters, surprising plot twists, and accusations of betrayal. The rapper and model were a couple between 2011 and 2014, and in 2012, they had a son together named King Cairo Stevenson. After parting ways, they fought a good deal online, including the time that Chyna called herself a quote gold digger on Twitter, and claimed that she never loved Tyga. As an explanation, she accused her ex of hacking her account and writing those words himself. But the real drama began when Tyga started dating Kylie Jenner in 2014. Jenner is the younger sister of Kim Kardashian, Chyna's friend at the time, and soon after, Chyna began dating their brother Rob Kardashian. Chyna and Rob got engaged after 10 weeks, but it didn't take long for problems to emerge. As Rob wrote to his fans on social media in March 2016, "It's impossible to have a positive relationship with so much negativity from the media and outsiders." Things seemed good between the former couple when Chyna said that she and Rob were expecting a child together in 2016. Their daughter Dream was born that November, but the strife wasn't over, as Rob posted to his Instagram a video that body-shamed Chyna, and another video of her allegedly sleeping with another man.
I was devastated, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, how could somebody do this to me?
R&B singer Kehlani and rapper YG went public with their relationship in September 2019, while attending the Kith show at New York Fashion Week. The talk surrounding their relationship only grew when they released their collaborative single, Conclusions, just before Valentine's Day 2020. But just a few days later, Kehlani released the song Valentine's Day Shameful, on which she implied that YG cheated on her. As reported by TMZ, back in October 2019, it appeared that YG was caught kissing another woman outside of Los Angeles' Poppy nightclub, although he denied it. But based on the lyrics in Valentine's Day Shameful, the scandal was just too much for Kehlani to get over, as she sang about how she couldn't forget it and it made her sick. Then during an interview on The Breakfast Club in May, she said that she learned that YG wasn't honest with her during their relationship after looking through his phone. As she explained, "I've seen his phone and there just was things that I just didn't need to see that were not surface level things. They were very deep and intricate and I just felt like, oh, maybe I need to take a step back because I don't think we're on the same page of this."
So he was cheating on you?
Yeah.
Several days after the tragic disappearance and death of actress Naya Rivera was announced in July 2020, her former fiancé Big Sean broke his silence by writing on Instagram, "I appreciate and cherish everything that ever happened between us, for making me wiser and a better person." Sean and Rivera originally met via Twitter, began dating in April 2013, and by that October, they were engaged. But then by the spring of 2014, the engagement was off. To make matters worse, Rivera implied that Sean cheated on her with Ariana Grande, whom he eventually dated. Rivera also wrote about an incident in which she found Grande hanging out with Sean in her 2016 book Sorry Not Sorry: Dreams, Mistakes, and Growing Up. Back in September 2014, Sean released the scathing track I Don't F With You, which many people suspected was about Rivera. He talked about the song with Vulture in September 2020 and acknowledged that it was, quote, hurtful to have it associated with her. As he explained, "It wasn't a diss to her. I truly made the song and played it for her. She knew about it and she liked it. We had a breakup that was very public. And we were young and we forgave each other and moved on from that. If I would have known something this tragic would have happened, I would have never made the song."